We're next going to be checking up the Norfolk Wizard game, Awakening of Bill Morgan, part of the Hunter the Parenting universe by Bruva Alphabusa. I've actually meant to do this for a while and didn't. That's on me. I need to fix that. So we're going to do that now. Otherwise, you guys know there'll be a link below. Hit it up. Also, I haven't... Oh, good. For some reason, I thought I wasn't subscribed. That would be embarrassing. Can you imagine me doing something embarrassing? I would never. Also, I'm still covered in cat hair, and I can smell it. I didn't know it had a smell, because it's literally burning the inside of my nostrils. Fluffing a cat right before this is maybe not the best idea. Introducing a Hunter the Parenting verse actual play. Heading out, Blue Hush? All right. The Mage of the Ascension Chronicles by Ober Papanong. Norfolk Wizard game. Are they actually starting with a musical number? Hulky Crow as Bill Morgan. I'm really hoping just one thing. That this video is just as good as Warham's. Because if it's even close to that, I'm going to laugh my ass off. Madoroshi as Sybil Innswood. Arendelle as Samson Tuttle. Frederick Gunson as Parker Knickerbocker. Invictus Henny Sleep. Alright, thanks for dropping in. Whoa, that is... And Speaker D is the storyteller. Oh, no random Mechanicus guy? Technically there is a faction in Mage that does that, but... Audio by Alpha Busa and Dr. White. Video by Carl the Deranged, Garrett, and Alpha Busa. Intro theme by... Macri? Where did we say that? And Requiem says the Techno Union. Yeah. Whoa, there is so much going on right now. These are the main characters, right? I think I recognize them from the thumbnails. And now the cat's trying to get through the gate again. Sorry. Kaleidoscope effect, I think. Are they transferring into part of the game? Oh, it's the intro. Why does that sound like an homage to something? Those individual notes. I don't know what it is, but it sounds like it should be. The Norfolk Wizard game. Is this like Norfolk America? Norfolk Britain? Because apparently there's one there too, or somewhere else. Oh, and check, you mentioned this is the unofficial anthem of World of Darkness. Oh. Neat. Maybe I'll think it's that way by the end. I don't know. Xeon Dragon, you going to bed too? All right, thanks for dropping in, man.
On a small part of a large, dreary island, hunters cavort in the county of Norfolk.
Oh, so it's
seeking
Norfolk
to bring
County.
about their reckoning upon the creatures of the night. These hunters are unusual.
Hunter the
Perhaps,
Reckoning, yeah.
Unstable? At least one of them is deranged, definitely.
Only one?
But their journey is sure to change a great deal in Norfolk. A great deal, indeed.
Oh?
But this is not their story.
Different Norfolk?
This is a story of the awakened.
Mages, man.
I invite you now to another world. A place where the fundamental pillars of reality
Wasn't
shatter
Dor
at
from
the will
Norfolk,
of
though?
these awakened souls. A world where science, physics, all we hold as fact, are not inviolate. They are merely frontrunners in a conflict that has raged for millennia. A war between wizards, visionaries, madmen, and fiends for reality itself.
1 second. Sticking my face directly into a cat's floof is now starting to come back to bite me. I never thought this would happen. Shocking, I know.
Liberators become tyrants. Tyrants become liberators, and in this ascension war, those with vision can see all, save the cost of their ambition. But I get ahead of myself.
Does
You
anyone
might not
ever
be
actually
ready
get
for
to the
the whole
ascension part?
explanation.
Like, I know it's probably possible. It's like level
Protagonists
20
certainly
games in
aren't.
D&D.
Are you kidding?
Does it actually?
I know you haven't met them yet, but rest assured, they're terminally unhinged.
Nice.
But let's not focus on that for now. Instead,
Okay, can I just acknowledge I love that he went for the super serious face when he said terminally unhinged, and then went back to the troll face.
unhinged. But let's not focus on that for now. Instead, let's focus on location. The year is 2006.
Dude.
The city is Norfolk. Nestled here where the Chesapeake Bay meets the...
Wait. 2006. Does Hunter the Parenting take place in 2003 or 2008? I know it's in the 2000s as well, but I don't remember. Or is it also in 2006? Huh. Oh, and this is going to be Norfolk. Oh, so this would be Maryland, right?
Atlantic.
No, Virginia.
It rests just below what passes for seaside paradise in Virginia. An hour north lies Jamestown, birthplace of the American colony. To the south,
Debatable.
the Great Dismal Swamp, a wildlife refuge shared with the state of North Carolina. East sits the ocean.
I thought they were going to make a joke about Washington, D.C. for the Dismal Swamp, but different.
And to the west,
Technically, that was
Naval
New York,
Station
Ohio.
Norfolk, the
A lot of
single
Ohio actually
largest
was a swamp.
military installation in the world. If ever a place could be said to be within the imperial core, Norfolk, Virginia oughtn't to top the list. Here is power. Here is history. And whether upon a wizard's tower or the gray hull of an aircraft carrier, here the Magi rule. Welcome.
Wait. Are we actually going to get a mage running an aircraft carrier in this thing? That's a leading statement, and I kind of hope it is.
To Virginia. Welcome to Mage the Ascension. Let the game begin.
I'm actually really excited for this.
Bill,
Yes.
your eyes are heavy. They're heavy with a weight
Speaker D is the narrator with the fancy face mask. Oh, God.
That only comes from stark exhaustion or heavy medication. And when you finally manage to creak open your eyes, so willing to weld themselves shut, it's then that you realize you're not in a place well suited to those wakening from a long sleep.
Stay calm? Oh, calm.
You find stark white,
he
bright
in a mental hospital?
fluorescence. And from the comfort of a plush white bed,
What's going on?
you find yourself in a padded room.
Dude, did you hear that audio effect?
You find yourself in a
As he's building up, they just put in the effect to just pound the ear slightly harder. And it's just like that low rumbling vibration that has a huge effect to just make it more momentarily terrifying. I love it. It's good uses of sound to immediately build the atmosphere, even more than saying he's in a padded room.
with no clear idea of how exactly you got there.
What the hell? This isn't my apartment. Hello? Is anybody there?
Voice pangs off the upholstery, and it's only then that you notice a cuff around your arm chaining you to a metal protrusion at the very
Is it a jail or a
head
hospital?
of your padded bed.
God damn, Speaker's playing it well.
What the hell is this? Where am I?
Summoned by your screams, something seems to turn the knob of the door. You hear a
Something?
as the door begins to slide open.
Not someone.
Coming through the doorway is a rather modestly dressed woman, wearing glasses, a brown ponytail, with a clipboard.
Mr. Morgan, my God, you're not supposed to be up this early. Are you feeling all right?
Feeling all right? Who are you? Where am I?
Hold on, Mr. Morgan. Calm down, calm down.
Don't you hold on me. Who are you? Where? This is not my house. This is not
That's very true. That's very true. I'm Dr. Liddy. I work for the Psychological Organization of Norfolk. I work at the university, and I need to let you know you've had a rather traumatic evening. How are you feeling?
How do you
What
think
did
I
he
woke up in a padded
do?
room? What do you expect me to feel? I'm fucking
All
terrified.
right. I understand, but please, sir, try to remain calm. I can't blame you after the night you've had for feeling exhausted. Is it all right if I come in and sit and chat with you?
I mean, he's literally chained up. I don't think he has a choice in the matter.
Sure. Wait, who are you with?
As I said, I work for the university. I do work for the medical wards.
Who are you really
in
with?
Norfolk.
What?
You know what I know. That's
Please.
not true.
What?
Sir, I think that you've gotten a little hysterical.
She pulls up a stool.
Now, if you don't mind, could you run me through the events of last evening from the beginning? That way we might both clear up some lingering confusion.
What's going on?
Well,
Can you remember?
For just a second, their speaker made the words sound way more intimidating. Just cleared up some lingering confusion. Definitely sounds way darker than, oh, this is nice. Let's just move along. They're definitely building her up as someone who's incredibly normal, but I'm getting villain vibes off it.
last night I was out with friends of mine. We were hunting in the
Let's
woods.
try not to overwhelm ourselves by going in media res for your recollection. Let's try to start slow. Do you remember what you were doing yesterday morning?
I was getting ready in my apartment. I was
All of a sudden, you turn yourself inward. As you begin to struggle with these memories, these thoughts
Also, I
of
can feel the cat hair in
blackened
my
woods
throat.
and momentum through a harsh bog, thoughts of terror under a dark sky. You find your way through this dull, throbbing white buzz.
God damn.
And you remember
I can see why people said to check this out as soon as possible.
where you were when the story began. You remember oversleeping for work. Your alarm goes off, Bill Morgan, and your
A homegrown Sacco lard. Oh my god, they actually have this from the other game as well.
apartment, and you realize that you have about
Nessie
15
picture.
minutes to get to Mr. Brim's estate if you want to keep your job.
Fuck, gosh, I overslept again. I shouldn't have stayed up watching Ranma again. Damn it! Bill will start just
Ranma.
literally leap out of bed.
Oh, yeah,
Just
it was airing at this
ass
time,
hanging
wasn't
out of
it?
His fucking tidy whities, tearing through his absolutely trashed apartment, looting through his piles of clothes that he's yet to wash for weeks, and just pulls out a pair of work pants, dirtied as they always are. Okay, I got those, and shirt. Digs through his dresser, pulls out a
I don't even know what's in the
generic, like, I
background.
want to believe style t-shirt stained because he
I'm sorry. Is that Carl the Deranged singing in the background? Okay.
he forgot to wash it again, and throws it on, pulls over a flannel.
You set out in your garb, presumably your toolbox at the ready. And I gotta ask, as you leave the apartment, would you care to describe Bill Morgan?
Oh.
Bill Morgan is a stout, pudgy 30-something with a lush but largely unkempt beard and mustache. He is not the kind of person you would look at and assume to be a well-kept individual. In fact, given the time, one might not think that he is fairly well off. And you'll be right, he looks kind of schlubby, a bit dirty, but very much has the airs about him of a handyman.
Mine is the handyman part. That entire description sounds like how I've been described a few times. Not the handyman part. Anyone who knows me and those who don't always look at me and go, oh, you would try and screw a carrot into a light bulb and not understand why it doesn't work. It's not a really specific description like that you would expect to get. The fact that I've had it twice is just a little weird.
He doesn't have time to waste in the pleasantries of cleaning himself up nowadays. It's all about getting to the job site, taking care of what he needs to, when of course he still has a job site to go to, but has that kind of wily conviviality about him that you might see in, say, Dom DeLuise. He's friendly to look at, but there's something not quite right with him.
I don't actually know who that is.
You
So I
can't
don't get the
really
reference.
place it until you start talking with him, Clay.
Well, it takes all kinds to make a world. And as you rush out to work, what is your mode of transportation?
His mode of
Is
transportation
it a bicycle?
is what one would expect for a beater car of the time.
Oh, less
Most
safe.
likely a early 90s Pontiac, beat to shit, but still going by virtue of his own maintenance and jerry-rigging of the vehicle itself. Covered in any number of scratches, dents, duct tape. He's been using this for some time.
Yeah, I mean,
to get
duct tape,
back
it
and forth
works,
from
man.
his job
Don't
sites
look
because
down
he's
duct
been
tape.
setting aside money for his cinematographic ordeals, or really just keeping
His what? I'm going to hear that word again. I don't quite know what that word was.
aside money for his cinematographic ordeals, or
Cinematographic ordeals. Oh, he's trying to film aliens, isn't he? I'm assuming he has "I want to believe" on his shirt. It's kind of a giveaway there.
really just keeping all of his other expenses together. But it's been tried and true, and it's kept him going till this point, so he keeps on powering through to his job sites.
Against all odds, your horrendous bucket of bolts manages to creak out of your parking garage.
Just need to roll
It
through that.
creaks down the road, and it creaks just up to your work site, just in time to save you from the axe. Rolling far away from your motel view apartment, you find a luxurious, multi-storied beach house somewhere on the northern end of town. Outside, you can see a few
What?
laborers
Oh,
hard at
building.
work, a large moving truck, and the general sounds of commotion. As you begin to question what the fuck you're doing here, memories begin flooding back to you. You're here to install a new floor for a client known as Mr. Brim. You'll know also that you've never seen Mr. Brim. No one on your worksite has seen Mr. Brim.
Is he filled to it by any chance? I'm not going to apologize for that one. It's bad, but I'm making it, damn it.
But his eagle-eyed butler, Gerald Slane, he's sure to be lurking about
That's a name.
somewhere and probably has some scathing remark for you.
All right, we have another hardwood install today. I brought along all the hammers and brought my nail gun, but I can't help feel I'm missing something here. I'm
Wood?
sure I just left it on the site again. Bill will trundle out of his car.
I have no idea if
toolbox
anything they
and
say is accurate.
air
I
compressor
do
in
not
hand
know how to build a floor.
and begin walking up to the job site.
Wait, air compressor? Oh, probably for the nail gun. Again, they could say anything they want about this entire process, and I would have no idea because this is something I have no information about whatsoever.
Passing by the various movers going towards the bottom floor.
You don't see Gerald Slane, and that's excellent for you. He's nowhere to be found until you get up to the main door. Mr. Morgan.
Oh, that is a face.
Hello there.
Charmed.
Nice to see you again, Gerald. I hope we're not too late today. Ran into a bit of trouble in traffic. You know how it is.
No, I can't say I do. You see, when Mr. Brim calls me to his site, I arrive on time. Precisely when I am meant to, which I should remark is far earlier than you needed to arrive.
Oh, well, that's why Mr. Brim always pays you the big bucks. And he'll kind of gently bap his shoulder with his dirty, dirty knuckles. Yeah, that's why I'm here putting in floors today. Yeah.
Yes, I suppose it
God,
is,
that's a
isn't
face.
it? You see, as his hands begin swiping off some of the grease you may have tracked.
Wow.
The floor on the inside is all but finished, Mr.
I absolutely love the voice Speaker D is using right now. It is so pretentious. I can't do it, but it's still just, just talking about the brushing off the dirt, and it's that elongation of the letters. It so brilliantly conveys the character, even more than this image does. Like the pursed lips, the massive chin, just jutting out there, the small little glasses, forcing you to squint to see through them. So just like, yes, they're all trash beneath me. It's so good.
Mr. Morgan,
To be so
however,
horrible.
you may still be of use in aiding with the construction of the backdoor gazebo.
Oh, of course.
Oh, a
that
gazebo.
Wouldn't be a problem at all.
Have you hunted it yet?
You're drunk again, are you?
Not at all.
Completely
Haven't been
moderately
drunk in
sober.
At least 36 hours.
Well, I'm delighted to hear it.
Also,
Mr. Brett
again?
will be in contact if you need anything.
Wait. They're trying to build this guy up as a hard ass, but they're keeping the guy on the job who sounds like an independent contractor who came drunk. Either they're cheap or he's really good at his job.
Yeah, and by Mr.
Probably
Grimm,
cheap.
I of course mean myself on his behalf. Now, I believe there's a gazebo that needs seeing to.
Of course, I'll get right on there.
That's why
Don't
you have a nail
worry.
gun. Got to pound it in place to take it down.
You pass through the insides of
keep
this
making that
mostly
joke.
finished beach house. And on the second deck, you are working more or less alone, and beginning to lay the foundations for a brand new, custom ordered gazebo.
On
Well,
the
exactly
deck?
did you start setting it up? Why don't you go ahead and make our first roll of the game?
Let's.
About a gazebo?
Before we go any further, it'd probably be best if we explain Mage the Ascension's dice rolling
Oh,
system.
I actually have no idea about
Don't
this.
worry, it's very simple and hopefully easy to follow.
Wait. So not only are we getting the story out of this, which is incredibly well produced, but we're going to learn how to play this game on top of it? Oh, dear God, I might actually have to start playing this once I learn how to do this. This sounds awesome.
In Mage,
I'm way more
in
happy
order for
about
a
this than I
character
should
to
be.
perform any kind of challenging action, such as, in this case, building a gazebo, we look to our character's character sheet and find their attributes and skills. All characters in any World of Darkness game have attributes such as strength, stamina, intelligence, dexterity, charisma, etc. Just baseline stuff that most humans and even non-humans have. These attributes are very general and can be applied to many different situations and many different roles. Characters also have skills which are more specific, such as driving, firearms, medicine, science, etc. On a character's character sheet, the propensity a character has for each attribute or skill is represented in dots. As in, there are 1 to 5 literal dots on the character sheet for each attribute
Okay.
and skill.
What does
The
that
amount
do?
of dots you have filled in for each attribute or skill represents how good a character is at any given thing. For instance, Bill here has 3 dots filled in for his dexterity attribute, which means he's quite handy and nimble, but not Usain Bolt or anything. Bill also has 1 dot in the craft skill, which, as a handyman, should come as no surprise. Crafting things is his job, he's just not super into it, and he only does it for a living. Thus, his rudimentary skill is reflected with 1 dot. Should Bill have had 5 dots in dexterity, he'd be so fast, chances are he'd be able to build this gazebo while dodging blunderbuss fire. But if Bill had 5 dots
Damn.
in crafts, well, then he'd probably be able to build a gazebo able to take continuous blunderbuss fire, and he wouldn't have to dodge at all. But I say chances are high because, in the end, it's the dice that decides everything. So,
So like every other time there's dice involved, I would probably roll all ones regardless of how many dice I roll. I'm just saying, there was a time where I was playing Warhammer and I rolled 118 dice. I had to re-roll my my grouping of 36 dice multiple times, which was easy because out of all of that, I had 20 successes. I played Custodes. This wasn't Custodes. This was, I think, Sisters of Battle at the time. They were shooting. They hit on 3s. Half of the dice, 2/3 of the dice succeed. Out of over 100, 20 succeeded. This was in previous editions when you could bring blocks of 15. So, yeah. My dice luck is the equivalent of saying, I don't have any temptation to go to Vegas to gamble with dice because I know the outcome already.
What to roll in order to build the gazebo? In any World of Darkness game, you generally combine an attribute and a skill in order to roll for a challenging action.
Oh?
So how do you combine these attributes and skills? Well, sit tight, and I'll tell you. As mentioned earlier, Bill has 3 dots in dexterity and 1 dots in crafts. We combine those together for 4 dots total. Now, that's the easy part. Here's the hard one. For each dot, we get a 10-sided dice that becomes part of our so-called dice pool.
Oh, so
Our
if they're
player,
combined, you
Hunky
get more
Crow,
than
needs
that.
to roll a dice pool consisting of 4 dice to see how Bill succeeds in building his gazebo.
Oh, and then if it's based on the attribute. Okay, so I see. It's not bad. I actually want to hear this again just to make sure I'm not misunderstanding it.
And crafts. We combine
So you're always guaranteed to have at least one thing because I don't think you could have a 0 in any score, right?
those together
Or
for
maybe you do,
4
and you just
dots
can't roll
total.
dice.
Now, that's the easy part. Here's the hard one. For each dot, we get a 10-sided dice that becomes part of our so-called dice pool. Our player, Hunky Crow, needs to roll a dice pool consisting of 4 dice to see how Bill succeeds in building his gazebo. But what does he need to roll with these 4 dice to succeed?
Oh,
Each die in the dice pool
Is that the
needs
DM
to succeed
deciding?
in rolling a specific number that I, the storyteller, decide upon. They need to either hit that number or higher. This number is known as the target number, and
Is
it
it a
represents
5,
the
a 6, or
difficulty
what?
of the action the player is trying to take. Usually, the number a die needs to roll to be a success is 6. This means a 6 or above on a 10-sided die generates a success. But this difficulty number is frequently lower or higher depending
oh, difficulty scales. Difficulty 3, trivial, hopping a creek. 4 is easy, cooking a meal. That number should be higher for me. 5 is straightforward, changing the oil in your car. That should also be higher for me. Standard, punching someone in the face. Actually, I would drop that down a further. Challenging, comprehending a book by Crowley. Difficult, playing all of 2112 on your guitar. Extreme, selling a multi-million-dollar business deal with reluctant partners. I mean, that's easy. You put a gun to their head. Or you tell them that it's going to succeed perfectly and don't, mention the part where they're the one who's footing the bill if it doesn't.
on certain factors. If the player wanted to steal from a sleeping grandma, the difficulty number the player would need to roll would likely be 5 or maybe lower. But attempting to
depending on the
yoink
grandma,
the
that could be
gun
higher.
off a paranoid police officer, that's likely to be difficulty 7 or even higher. The scale can go as low as 3 or as high as 10.
Oh.
As you realize, the more dots you have in any given attribute or skill will inevitably
Wait, legendary really good chance is going above 5. Because you probably max something out and then have the additional skills to buff it.
result in a higher chance to get successful rolls. All right, so you've counted your dots, you've got your dice pool, and you're rolling against a difficulty of 6. How many successes do you need to, succeed?
Oh.
Usually, the answer to this is just 1. In such cases, any successes past 1 will just yield you a better result. But in other cases, the storyteller might demand more successes than
So it's
1
not just
might
succeeding, it's
require.
succeeding in mass.
An especially challenging action requiring a minimum of 2 or 3 success rolls isn't uncommon. If Bill was building this gazebo at the top of Mount Everest, I might have demanded 8 successes, which is impossible with a dice pool of just 4 dice. If a player really wanted to succeed at something and not let the dice control their fate, there's another thing they can do to gain an automatic success.
Really? Tyranids? Not what I was expecting, but okay.
They can expend a point of willpower. Willpower are points that a player can spend to have their character get 1 automatic success
But-
on their next roll. Willpower points are limited, though, and are directly tied with the character's psyche.
Per turn?
They should be used with care, because you only get so many, and you can only regenerate them by fulfilling your character's nature. What's more, no success, be it a willpower success
So basically, depending on the DM, if you're character playing playing the character as they're written on the sheet, so role playing, you get more actions that you auto succeed. Huh. So it's not so much a dice game as an actual role playing game with dice. Yeah, kind of like Warham's. That makes sense.
or 1 you rolled is guaranteed. For each roll of 1 in a dice pool, you remove 1 success from the total. That
Oh,
leave
that
you
could be
with no
bad.
successes if you're unlucky.
And even worse,
Negatives.
if you were to roll your dice pool here and get 0 successes, but still roll a 1, well, then you'd have critically failed. What World of Darkness calls a botch, and you should prepare for the consequences.
Oh.
But just as there are critical failures, there are also chances of rolling critical successes. If you roll a 10 on any 10-sided dice in your dice pool, you'll gain particular advantage. In the storyteller system, any character can have a specialty, something they're particularly skilled at that the character writes down at an attribute or skill once it reaches 4 dots. Bill here, for instance, has a specialty for his perception attribute called Uncanny Insight.
Oh.
This will give him particular advantages when trying to understand certain uncanny things. If you have a specialty and the specialty applies to your use of your skill or attribute, any 10s rolled become 2 successes automatically, instead of just 1.
Oh, they double up.
So if Bill were to roll with his perception and try to understand why Gerald Slane looks and acts like a reptile, he'd roll a 10. That success would automatically count as 2 successes. Buy 1, get 1 free. But we here at the Norfolk Wizard game have a house rule.
Are they
to make
actually
things
making him
even
just an
more
alien?
Interesting. If you roll a 10 but lack specialization, you can, as we call it, pop that dice, rolling it again, and potentially getting another success, a failure, or maybe, just maybe, another 10.
And we've seen this before previously in If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device when they did an old world fantasy role-playing version and they actually rolled the dice for that game. Oh, so that's a house rule, not just a game rule. Okay, honestly, I kind of want to do that regardless because that sounds fun.
Getting another chance to pop. This theoretically means someone unskilled could get more successes than someone with a specialty. This reflects
Beginner's
what
luck.
I call beginner's luck.
Called it.
But it's far from consistent. Feel free to try applying it to your own games and see how you like it. Now, with all of that covered,
Also, someone's mentioning right now a Satori or Satorui. I'm probably butchering your name. Sorry about that. That's a house rule is a base rule in Chronicles. Oh, so it's kind of like D&D where the base rule of the game is if the DM says it, it's the rule. Makes sense.
with our attributes and skills accounted for, with our dice ready to be pooled and our successes ready to be tallied,
Is it going to be 4 ones?
let's try and build a fucking gazebo. Hulky, roll dexterity plus crafts.
No.
Dexterity crafts. I can do that for you. It's going to be a total of 4 die coming at you. Difficulty 6. Let's go. 4 die. Oh, and 1. 1. 1 success.
Your heart isn't exactly in it. I mean, how can it be when you're doing this kind of work? But you know how to set up a gazebo. You put things up exactly where they need to be. You begin the structure, setting up the foundation, hammering into nails on wood. A street over. Something you can only see because of your elevated position. You notice a black marked car.
Oh? Traveler van?
A door opens as a man's woman held in place, dragged, screaming and thrashing by 2 individuals with black suits and black sunglasses, shoved into the back seat before the door slams.
What?
Oh my god, they just disappeared, that person. I got, holy shit. And Bill, seeing this, just absolutely distracted from his work, is rifling through his toolbox because, of course, this is where he keeps a beat-up handheld camcorder.
He's bringing out a
As you reach
camera?
for that handheld camcorder.
Oh my god.
You stop keeping pressure on a particular beam that really needed to be there, and it kind of begins sliding down with a light thunk and the noise of a nail being ripped out of its socket, falling over, ruining a particular necessary patch of wood, and things slowly begin falling apart one by one before you look back up to catch an image of a black car that's already sped off.
Ah, damn it, not again. Wait, if I go, I could probably catch up another time.
Mr. Morgan!
Yes!
What happened here?
Oh, well, this piece of board here might be of, subpar make by the looks of things. It, well, couldn't seem to support the weight that I had up on it, and looks to have collapsed. You can't always take into account even the finest quality wood. There's always bound to be an aberration at some point. It's a statistical certainty. I'm sure you can understand that.
I agree with you about statistical aberrations.
He quickly takes the plank.
He's about to say something else, isn't he? Also, I kind of love this character. He's so horrible. I said it before. I'm going to say it again. This is just amazing. I don't know nearly enough about Bill Morgan yet, but this guy's so straightforward of just that ass that I kind of love it.
Yes. Well, I shall have to get this replaced. That is all, Mr. Morgan. You may go home.
What?
Oh, but I'm not done yet. I have to finish up the other
Oh, no,
parts.
Mr. Morgan. You're quite done. You have a pleasant evening. I'll be in contact about your pay.
But what are you talking? We're not done yet. We signed a contract for this. I have to actually put this up.
How much would you like?
Are they
for
getting
the
rid of
install
him?
job?
You didn't exactly finish installing it.
He takes out a wad of 100 bills. It's like 400 in it.
Here, take it.
He'll
That's not
walk
bad.
over and take it from.
I mean, for a single day's work, it sounds like he just started on this job and he's getting fired with $400 for an incomplete job. That's actually really not bad. Hell, that would be good now. They're definitely getting rid of him.
You know, it's about 200 short for the floor inside.
Oh, he did the floor inside
remember
then.
that, right?
Oh, yes, I remember how others had it installed before you. Mr. Morgan, if you do not leave these premises...
Ah. So he was trying to collect something he didn't do. Got it. Also, Hobbit, you want Speaker D as a GM because he's amazing at this? Yes! Oh, God, he is good at this. I've been spoiled with some really good GMs. But Speaker D, you can just hear the sheer joy in pulling up all of the voices. A lot of the people I know, they're there to build a scene and have fun with crazy number games because we're all a bunch of min-maxers who like to see who can min-max the most min-max of min-maxing. Oddly enough, because we're all on board with it, it actually works out pretty well. Except when the boss is min-maxed as well and the DM realizes they over-min-max, the boss has to create their own PC character because we're so short on firepower they need a bullet sponge to take the hit. Yeah. Details aside.
I will call the police and I will have you arrested for trespassing. Do we understand each other?
Sure.
Take the money and run.
We're clear. Thank you.
I'm glad to hear that. Oh, no. I assure you the pleasure was all mine.
I assume at this point you will leave the worksite.
Yes, Bill will start walking away. Actually, he's going to look back if the... Has Gerald gone back inside?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Bill is going to look over to his half-finished handiwork and
Kick it.
seeing one of the nails that was not quite put in, will reach through one of the railings and pull it out.
Oh,
Roll
no.
me another dex.
Yes.
And what's your intention here? Just give him a little middle finger on your way out?
Little middle finger, but it's also going to create further structural instability. It might actually collapse the
yeah.
gazebo roof downwards and take out the stairs.
Ah, no, there's a thought. Go for it.
Oh, that's
All right,
horrible. I
here we
love
go.
it. I already like Bill.
We have 2 successes.
2 successes. Well, you've scored enough successes to the point that as you're wandering out to your infamous piece of shit car, you are pleased and delighted with a sudden as woodwork in the backyard falls apart just on time.
Another successful installation.
Oh my God, he's
shit, I gotta
horrible.
Oh yeah, you leave that place far before contractors begin flooding it like a den of wasps, and you're out back on the roads of Norfolk.
Yeah, you might want to just leave the state now.
As you drive, you get a call.
What the
Bill's
fuck was
buildings.
that?
Bill!
Bill's
Hey,
buildings.
what's going on? Hey, listen, buddy.
Please tell me the receipt doesn't say the bill for Bill's buildings being built by Bill.
Listen, I need you at O'Tully's, and I need you there. I don't know, like whenever. I mean, you know,
O'Tully?
when are you eating dinner?
I mean, not right now. I'm just leaving the job site. I mean, is everyone meeting up now?
Oh my God. Well, honestly, no. We're just sort of planning it in advance. Listen, I got something you're gonna go crazy
What?
about. You're not you're not gonna regret when you first shacked up with good old Delman. I tell you the things I know about the things I got on docket.
I'm chomping at the bit here. You got me real keyed up right now.
Oh, it's another job
I
then?
got stories for you. You have no idea what I just saw today, too.
Listen.
Oh no, this is one of his probably alien hunting buddies then. Because he just saw the story about the guy getting disappeared, so yeah.
We can advance up our timetable a little bit because Glenn and Gale, they're homebodies, so they just kind of doing whatever. Why don't you go ahead and get your best cameras ready, put some thought into a hell of a shot tonight, and meet us
Oh my
at
God.
the O'Tully's on 6th Street.
Absolutely. I'll head home right now and get all that ready. And I'll meet you on O'Tully's after.
All right, 10-4, old buddy.
And the phone line goes dead.
Ooh, and Bill will start slapping his steering wheel into like, oh, yes, we're fucking doing it tonight, boys. Let's go. He'll just pedal the metals, keep going faster because he's like, oh, yes, now I actually have something to do tonight other than be depressed that I just lost another job.
Yeah, that would work.
And so it was that you went raving down those streets.
Past a cop.
And a few hours later,
Oh, no.
you pull up on O'Tully's. A great, a damp, green fast food place with a giant O and a large plume of smoke
So basically, a healthier Popeyes.
coming out from the chimney where the fryers are hard at work. Greeting you there is a young 20-something, about a few feet shorter than you, but
That's a 20-something? Oh, God. Also, apparently, according to Jack, O'Tully's is a major Pentex subsidiary, so this is a canon location. Oh.
just as stocky, just as large, open arms, reaching out for you, the red jacket swaying in the wind of fast food commerce. Bill, you old
I'm
peach!
telling you, beautiful bastard, I'll have you back. He'll reach in and they'll grab each other.
To embrace with this tearful reunion. By God, it's been 2 days since you last saw each other, and already you're back at it again. He brings you over to the O'Tully's counter, and I must
That is a
ask,
face.
what exactly will you order?
He will order a Sam Adams.
I've never seen someone draw a second chin that misses the chin. This is a third neck. The jowls have receded.
Or a legally non-distinct beer.
All right, one legally non-distinct beer coming right up.
Damn.
By the way, would you like that gut busted for you?
Oh, yeah, fuck it up. Fuck me up. Let's go.
All right, we have this new promotion where we just slather ranch on the bottle. Is that good?
Yeah, fuck it. When in Rome.
I don't know which is worse. That description? Or the immediate thought that there's going to be someone out there who saw this like, oh, I should try that. Come on. We all know it would happen. It's the internet. It's bound to happen.
Yeah,
All
let's do it, let's do it.
You want it with or without breadcrumbs?
Make it crispy.
Ah, man, after my
Deep
own
fried beer.
heart.
And you see as
Actually, no, there is deep fried beer. That is a real thing. Oh, God. I was making a joke, but it's actually real.
the strange troll at the fast food counter returns with a Sam Adams covered in ranch and breadcrumbs that has been deep fried.
Just like real life.
Just like real life! With your strange, dubiously edible spoil in hand, you find your way to a counter.
Can we all acknowledge, though, if there was a way to make edible beer bottles that could be used to still hold beer and you could deep fry it, it would become the perfect food and no one would ever stop? Actually, if you did a wax bag that was edible and you could deep fry it so the bag would break down. Oh shit, you might actually be able to do that. Because edible wax is already a thing, so... Did I just... I think I need to go get a patent on edible beer bottles.
Whereupon, Glenn and Gale are sitting chatting merrily. Now, Glenn and Gale have been married for some time, though that doesn't stop them from cutting drastically different profiles. Glenn is about as tall as you and very bald. He has a face like some East London gangster, which makes it very strange when it turns out that he is in fact a complete homegrown American boy.
Really?
Whereas Gale is mousier. She has over her shoulders a large, organically woven shawl, a shirt that has a large marijuana leaf, multiple crystalline necklaces, and very, very large circular glasses.
I have no idea what type of person this would be.
Oh my God, it's Bill! Bill! We've been waiting for you!
Oh, I hope you haven't been waiting too long. It's good to see you, Gale.
Well, the pleasure's all mine, Bill. Let me tell you, we got one hell of a find old Delman found for us.
Do you, Glenn? Oh, I'm...
A Delman found fine for... that is... I have no idea what word just came out of that guy's mouth.
I'm waiting. He told me, called me.
Goddamn, Speaker D is doing a lot of voices.
It's finally happening. We're gonna get the big scooper after, aren't we?
Scooper?
You're back in the padded room.
So, Big Scoop, Glenn, Gale, Delman, you talk
Okay,
a
so
lot
I'm
about
not the
this.
only
Is
one
this
who
some
doesn't
sort
get
of
this.
hobby, a publication you all run?
Well, it's a little column A or column B. I mean, we're enthusiasts. We explore the unexplored. What people don't necessarily want to look into, or the police won't believe if you tell them. But rest assured, we are a perfectly legitimate publication, exploring the mysteries of Norfolk and Virginia at large.
That sounds fascinating. Have you ever found anything?
Nope.
Yes, of course we found certain things, but it's nothing that the man wants us to tell people about. People aren't ready for it, we think.
Right. And so
I just noticed on the side, under specialties, it's carpentry and truth-seeking, weakness, polite society. So this is being added on as the story progresses. That's actually really cool.
you three together, you all worked on a particular publication?
Yes, the Hidden Gazette. It's a magazine and a website too. We're just getting it off the ground finally, but...
Dude.
As you begin licking your horribly slathered beer bottle and tasting the wonderful welts of commerce, you begin engaging in conversation with your cohorts. Two little figures of the Loveland Frog and one of the Chupacabra begin lining up the dinner table as people begin bringing out their various assortments. They start talking and shaking their hands. And then eventually the master of the ceremonies speaks up.
All right, Bill. Why don't I show you those documents we found?
Oh yes, let me see the goods.
All right. So, you remember when we all went to go chase after the Mothman?
Of course I did. We almost went over the bridge.
Yeah, and then all those, police officers scared us away, said that we were causing a public disturbance.
Those torches we had were perfectly legitimate. They weren't fire hazards.
Oh, shit! I thought for a second they were talking about torches as in flashlights because they were previously in the British group who were talking about torches as in flashlights. But no. If they're fire hazards, they were actually bringing flaming torches to a bridge at night, probably. Oh my God. That's horrible. I love this.
Bridge just happened to be covered in very flammable Mothman feces.
All right
as
to
they
be an
often are.
attribute every day. It's part of the U.S. government's big schemes.
The MWO.
Actually, guano and droppings can be flammable, so that's actually a problem.
Oh, they just don't want us to know about Mothman now, do they?
Right, they don't. And that's why we never learned anything about him. But this time will be different. Because the score, it's not in some bridge or some cabin or in some highly populated suburban area this time.
Oh?
This time, it's in the swamp.
The swamp.
Check it out.
And he takes out from a manila folder a large black and white composite photo of mud. There's a little bit of
What is
grass
that?
growing, a few centipedes roiling around in there, but it's mud depressed out into a strange geometric pattern.
What the hell is this?
I'll tell you what it's about. You know the Mayans?
Of course. The
I don't think
Mayans,
they were
the
in
ancient
Virginia.
astronauts themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And doesn't this iconography, doesn't it look a lot like those old photos you get of the Aztec ruin or the ancient Mayans or the whatever?
Because he's
Isn't
being
there some
shown to stretch
comparison
for it,
with
but it's going to be
with the
something.
Geomantic weave we got going on here, whatever the term is.
That does look like. This does look like ancient. See, these are sigils. They similar to the ones that they had at the ruins of Mexico City. They had.
See, here's the crazy part. I know that one of the guys is being set up as the conspiracy theorist who's going to be wrong. And it almost sounds like Bill Morgan is a conspiracy theorist who's going to be right, but maybe not in the way he expects. But I'm not sure if that's the case, or maybe I have them backwards. Which one of them is going to be right, which is going to be wrong? Or are we playing it off the other way? This is not right in the slightest, and we're going to find out when it bites them in the face.
Were purported to draw in the energies of the psychomantic flow behind all consciousness to draw them into these focal points and harness that power for
It's probably him who's right.
arcane means. It does look similar, but they weren't reported to be this far into the continent. How could that even be here?
All right, go ahead and roll me some lore occult.
Lore occult.
Ooh, what does he have on this?
Sorry, not lore occult, intelligence occult.
Intelligence
Oh.
Roll in this game.
I can do that. It's gonna be 3d10s.
Only? Oh.
With 2 successes and 1 failure.
Remarkably, you actually have some idea of what you're talking about.
Thought a cold would be
These
higher for
ruins
him.
that you found in the distant past, or at least ruins that were found in the distant past, they seem to have some sort of just curious interlinking with just these cosmic think tanks and these corporate abettors that just they took over the land and they bulldozed the ruins, and then they kind of kept whatever was there for themselves. You are familiar with this kind of thing. And that's what helps convince you that when these photos begin coming out, that they're the genuine article.
I don't know, Bill. I mean, these just kind of seem like circles on mud.
Anybody can make circles on mud. This is like forgotten history shit. They're trying to bury them.
No
These-
no way. These were taken last night in an abandoned area of the Great Dismal Swamp. Ain't nothing.
Oh God, that's his voice? How does Speaker D even do that? It's so light and airy. I can't do that. It actually hurts my throat.
There but gators.
Very good voice actor.
And bears and bugs, oh my. And the best part, you want to know how we can really tell these are fresh? Now, I'm no big shot photographer like you, Bill, so you gotta forgive me for the lack of clarity here, but...
He takes that one final image. It's of trees cresting over a large body of water. At first, it seems like the moon's in the sky. But then you get a closer look at the crescent, and you realize that's not a moon.
It's a
It
space
looks
station.
almost like a flying saucer.
Yeah, I kind of figured that's where they'd go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man.
God.
We gotta get fucking medieval up here, man. We are looking at the scoop of the century. The Hidden Gazette's gonna be turned into some minor league project, into, I don't know, we're looking at Howard Stern here, you know? We might make first contact.
Really? That's where they're going with this one? Out of all the Howard Stern levels? I mean, to be fair, he's successful and he's still going now, so I guess it's not a bad choice, but out of all the ones they went for, that's it. Huh.
We gotta do it.
It's just
Yeah,
like
better than Hefner.
It's just like that movie with Steven Spielberg. It's for. We gotta get my MIDI. We gotta get the MIDI back.
What,
in
it's
the
like an
house.
alien that's going to be
That's
a
great
monster,
idea.
but also
We'll
an
listen to
alien
it in the
android that's
car,
going to turn into a real boy for a day?
because I want all of you to put on your best flannel. And we got a plan. Glenn, tell them the plan.
All right.
said the
You're
best
gonna like
flannel.
this one, Bill. So, suspicious people, they get arrested. We gotta cover. I'm gonna get us some safety suits, some camo caps, some flannel. And of course, I'll let you borrow one of each from
Hunters.
my famous shotgun reserve.
They're going to look like hunters.
We're going duck hunting. If we just so happen to find an extraterrestrial or a Clantuviridian or a, one of the star people out there, all the better, right?
Of course. Could be Satans too. We wouldn't want to run into Satans without a gun.
And I fucking hate Satans.
Oh, we all hate Satans.
Okay, all right. It's a
This came out 4 months ago. Yeah, I'm taking a wild guess they were playing Fallout 76, talking about the Mothman and Zatans.
deal. We're gonna go and we're gonna document this alien, maybe.
We gotta make sure we're prepared.
And so, the plans are prepared. And I would ask, given that you have about an hour or so to prepare.
Oh, that long?
You're given the camo, you're given the safety jacket, you're given a shotgun. Is there anything else that you're bringing to proceedings?
Oh,
Of course, he's going to have his camcorder and well, 2 sticks of jerky.
All right. With
Shit,
all
I'm
of your
actually hungry.
accoutrements accounted for, with your guns and jerky fresh in your hand, you are loaded into the back of Delman's RV.
God damn. On this note, though, this is probably where I need to cut this one because, oh God, that was 40 minutes in. I'm sorry. I'm actually really enjoying this. I could even see if I might want to just make this its own video day because this is so good. On the other hand, there's only 4 of them. I want to stretch it out so I have more to enjoy. Either way, though, this is so good. And according to the chat, it looks like you always get at least 1 die roll no matter what. So really hope you don't go with 0 on that one. And Requiem mentioned that you could actually tinker with the skills to make some worse. So he probably intentionally made a cult worse because Dex is higher. Okay, that makes sense. Either way, I have a feeling I'm going to be bugging people on Discord about playing a Mage game soon because this is already looking really fun. Oh. Yeah. But right now, I'm having so much fun with this. I didn't know really what to get into when they did a live play because I saw Warhams and that was amazing, but I was kind of scared it wouldn't be up to Warham's quality. And already I'm loving this. I like how they're building into it. We're not just jumping into a group. We're seeing a buildup of character and I love this. And Hobbit mentioned, there's 5 episodes, 4 character episodes and 1 normal episode. Oh, which also means by the time I finish them, there might be more episodes. Nice. Yeah, this is probably going to be a regular fixture. So I need more. Unfortunately, we've been recording for almost 4 hours at this point, and I do need to do stuff today. I already kind of pushed my wife as much as it is to let me do an extra recording video today, so I'm not going to push it further. I already had to ask favors by bringing in the cats earlier, so that was fun. Also, joking aside, I am literally choking on cat fur right now. Like, unironically, I'm trying not to cough it up. I can feel it in my throat. Yeah. They're cute kitties, though. So if you guys haven't already, there's a link below to the original video. I haven't finished this yet, so I don't know if there's a big twist coming, but I love how they're building it up. I love the characters. I love how they have so much going on in the forefront of the video to show you every which way this is moving. And I want to see more, and I can't wait. This is going to be so freaking good. So if you haven't, links, hit them up. And I'll see you guys in the next one.